Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer, and today's video, based upon popular demand, is going to be an update to our Dungeons & Dragons tabletop campaign back here, our advanced Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition tabletop campaign back here. So, it has been a bit since we talked about our campaign, because it was a period where I wasn't doing videos, and then the coronavirus hit, and so we haven't been able to play. And I did a bunch of catch-up videos, which got us all caught up on a bunch of other topics, and now let's do the D&D thing. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the channel. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disheartened because since I have been doing these videos, since I got back into doing videos again, and I don't know, I've probably done this like 8, I think, maybe 9. I've actually lost subscribers. So I get a lot of good feedback from you guys, a lot of positive feedback. All of my videos are almost 100% liked. There's almost no dislikes whatsoever. So I'm getting all this great feedback in all these different ways, but whatever I'm doing wrong, I'm not attracting new subscribers. So I guess what I'm saying is, if there's any way that those of you that do like my content want to share the word, that would be fantastic. If you want to share my videos on Twitter or anywhere that you want to see if maybe I can start getting some subscribers again, that would be fantastic, instead of losing subscribers, because that just tells me that my content is not worth watching. People don't think it's worth watching. So anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there for what it is. Let's talk about D&D. So as a quick recap for those who may not have been following before my break, we do a 1st edition AD&D campaign back here, and we've been doing this particular campaign now. It is a homebrew campaign, and I believe my character is 7th level. Yes, he's 7th level now, 7th level cleric, and most everybody else is right around 6th or 7th level, and it's been going for a while now. But of course there were breaks. There was breaks, around the holidays and all that type of stuff. So, and now unfortunately we're on a break because of this virus thing. But we are going to start up again this Friday, doing it virtual on Roll20. We're going to try for the first time doing a virtual session. So perfect time to get caught up here with the channel. So where we had kind of left off was that our group had been investigating some different suspicious behavior on the part of some, for lack of a better term, hippie type characters or NPCs that were out in the woods, that the local clerics that my character's a part of that following said, hey, can you go check on it? We think they might be up to some kind of witchcraft, demonology, something like that. And so we looked into it, and long story short, we basically found out that there is this council of 6 evil type mages or something along that line, whether it could be necromancers, whatever. And we know one of them that we have dealt with before, a very bad character, very bad NPC, so I don't confuse you guys. And if he has any indication of what the other ones in the council are like, we're not yet high enough level to start tangling with these dudes. So in the meantime, we have decided that there is an elven land called Pompidou that exists now, and it's kind of a funny story because one of our player characters, our mage, Duchovny, I have to keep looking at my notes. That's why I'm looking down from time to time. At one point, because his character's kind of like eccentric, he said something about being from, somebody asked him where he was from. He said Pompidou Wackle or something like that. Some just came up with a goofy name because he didn't want to, say where he was really from or whatever. And so the DM, of course, being a good DM, decided that there was going to actually be a real place called Pompidou, and it's going to be populated by the elves. And some of the elves showed up one day and told this our magic user Duchovny, quit telling people this. We don't want anybody knowing about us. And so it kind of surprised him, Duchovny, but it also, he found it quite comical. And now he wants to travel to Pompidou to see the elves there for himself, which of course goes against what they wanted him to do. But he's from a very rich family and has a very entitled. He plays his character as a very entitled type who does not like being told no, and so of course that's what he wants to do now. Well, we also have our assassin in the party, who Cal is his name, and Cal thinks that elves might have access to some special magic items that maybe he could purchase from them that he wants very badly. He hasn't been able to find them anywhere else, so he's thinking, well, maybe the elves, they're kind of, crafty. Maybe they make this kind of stuff, like boots of Elvenkind, stuff like that, and because it's also in the name, Elvenkind. So he wants to go there too. So as a group, we all decided, well, yeah, what the hell? Let's go to Pompidou and see what we find. We are adventurers after all, and we have made several forays to try and get to Pompidou, but we keep encountering really bad stuff, and we survive, but we get our asses kicked, and we have to go back licking our wounds back to town to heal up and everything and to recuperate, so we have to start all over again. And the way that this game world, this is a homebrew game world that our DM has created, and he's always said from the beginning how dangerous it is outside of towns in the wilderness, and no shit, it is very. And so we've encountered owlbears, plural. We have encountered lots of trolls, multiple plurals, ogre magi's in some ruins that we found, and then we most recently, on our most recent foray, which we're still on right now, we encountered some goblins, which aren't a big deal or whatever, but we decided to parlay with them, and they actually said, yeah, you can travel through and everything else but you're going to have to deal with our big bad king, who's they call it like their goblin king type of a thing, but you're going to have to deal with him to get through. You ain't got to worry about us. Well, it turned out that the goblin kings that he's talking about are hill giants, so we end up having to fight hill giants, and we win. And of course, it's a struggle, but we win. And our one ranger, our female ranger, whose name is Max. That's why I said female, because Max is a unisex name, but it's Max, the female ranger. She actually one-shotted or did the death blow or something like that to the biggest of the big bad goblin king. And so now the goblins are all worshiping her because they were like enslaved by the giants. And now that they've been defeated, I guess the goblins have to find somebody else to be like their king or whatever. And so now they're basically seeing her almost as like their god, their deity or whatever. So we have that issue going on. My character actually is bankrolling building an abbey to my deity, and of course my deity, I can't think of his damn name right now, Alcurian. I'm a priest of Alcurian, and I'm building this abbey, and I'm paying for everything, and the local Church of Alcurian is coordinating the build and everything, because what I'm trying to do is make like a way station for travelers and adventurers that is like a safe haven. And of course the idea is, while they take safe haven at my abbey, then the proselytizing, of course, would occur, and they would have to make like a donation or something like that. If they had the means to do so, no one would be turned away. But if they had the means to do so, they would be expected to make a donation to help to keep the place going and all that. So that was one of the things my character's doing. And while that's all being built, we're on this foray to try and get to Pompidou, and we encounter these goblins, and that's kind of where we left off after that final session that we had before the virus hit. And then there was a decision that I think the goblins even told us that there was a dragon in the area, and so there was a debate amongst our party of, do we go and try and kill this dragon? No. We don't try and go kill a dragon at this level, because I think they said it was a black dragon, and yeah, no, we're not. I don't think we should. I think that we might not all survive if we go and try and fight a dragon at this level. So that's what the way my character is thinking. But when we start up this Friday, it will be, do we go after the dragon, or do we continue on to Pompidou? And that's kind of where we left off. So now, you guys are all up to speed. That is kind of, and my nose is itching, and we can't touch our faces, I guess, without a barrier now, so you'll excuse me. But, anyway, so that's it for our campaign right now. Let's see if I missed anything. Let me look at my notes here. Oh, one other nice little tidbit. So, again, our assassin, Cal, he has been, in the last few forays, he has been kind of took the reins of hiring men-at-arms / hirelings / meat shields, and they all get killed. And every time we go back into town now, the parents of some of these hirelings come and find Cal and want to know what happened to their sons. And so he's been having to deal with that. He's been having to try and be politically correct with how to deal with them without, causing a bigger issue of not being able to hire more, So that's another little entanglement that is going on, is that because most of the men-at-arms, and we're getting like first level, of course, 0 level, first level men-at-arms, and of course they're all very young usually, probably, and their parents are probably, of course, wanting to know what happened to them, and then we have to explain to them why they died and where their bodies are. That's another thing, that they ask about is, well, where are their remains, and we can't just say, oh, well, we just buried them out, there where they fell, which is what we ended up doing, because they don't want to hear that. They want to know where they want their remains back, so that's another little entanglement. So, anyway, I think that has you guys caught up on the D&D campaign. I think my next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Doctor Who season that just finished, and all that went in with that. So, until then, guys, we will catch you on the flip side.